Here's the thing about being a freelance writer. You are the number one asset in your business. So if you don't take great care of yourself, it's going to have a direct effect on the health of your business. That's why in this video, I'm going to share 5 of my best self-care tips for freelancers. If we haven't met yet, my name is Rachel. I'm a freelance copywriter and editor. And on this channel, I share tips about making money online, freelance writing, and creativity. So if any of those topics are of interest to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so tip number 1, diet. Diet and water. So don't get me wrong, I love junk food. I love carbs, I love potatoes, I love bread, I love it. But it does not love me. It's like being in a relationship with a toxic dude. Like, you think you're in love, but you're just getting treated really badly. So over time, I have discovered that if I eat too many carbs during the day, it has a really bad effect on my brain. So I can't think clearly, I'm really tired. Normally I need to take a nap just to get through the day, and I'm way less productive than I would have been if I had just focused on eating better food. So my first tip is to watch what you eat. And over time, I've learnt that, I just need to focus on eating protein, vegetables, and fruits throughout the day and drinking lots of water. And if I do that, then my energy stays even and I end up getting a lot more done. Of course, I am not perfect on this. There are still days where, I just want a big sandwich for lunch and I go ahead and eat it. But it's a work in progress. It's something that I'm working on, and it really does affect how well you work. The same goes for your water intake. You want to make sure that you're getting at least 2 liters a day, and steering clear of too much caffeine or soft drinks or anything like that. It really does make a difference. So tip number 2, exercise. Again, I don't love exercising. But, if you're sitting in an office all day, you really do need to exercise. I have had problems with my back and my neck, and exercise really does help. It can be something as simple as going for a walk outside every morning before you start work. I find this is a great way to get a bit of sunshine, fresh air before I dive into my work each day. But you can do any exercise, so just find something that you enjoy doing, because then you will stick with it. So for me, it's walking, Pilates, sometimes a bit of yoga. But for you, whatever works for you, just make sure you're moving your body regularly so that you don't end up all hunched over at your desk and really sore at the end of each day. Self-care tip number 3, boundaries. Now, this is something that I definitely struggled with a lot early on in my freelancing career. It's something I'm still working on. I'm slowly getting better at it. But yeah, boundaries are really important, especially when you work from home. So it could be something as simple as only checking your emails once in the morning and once in the afternoon, and not checking them again until your following workday, because it just helps your brain to separate work time from rest time. And if you're constantly available via your email, it's just so hard to just switch off and, get out of work mode. You feel like you're constantly in work mode, and it just makes you really tired, cranky, stressed, resentful. So it's really important to have very clear start and finish times for your days. In terms of boundaries with clients, I'll share a personal story. When I first started my freelance writing business, I was still working full-time in hospitality. And hospitality jobs, if you've ever worked in one, the hours are crazy, they're all over the shop. So as a result, I was working for clients at really random times in the day. So, sometimes I would finish work at 9 o'clock at night, and then I would do 2 hours of freelancing work when I got home. So my clients became quite used to me being available sort of whenever. And when I transitioned to just freelancing, I tried to establish more of like a 9 to 5 routine, but my clients were still in Europe and American time zones. And so they would sort of had this expectation that I would be available when they're at work. And my own fault, because I had set that up by the way I was working while I was still at my day job, but that was by necessity. So I had to reestablish those boundaries with those clients once I did transition to full-time freelancing. And, it was just a matter of clear communication and saying, hey, I realized I was available, a lot more a couple of months ago, but now I'm full-time freelancing and I'm only working these set hours during the day. So you can expect to hear back from me during those hours. But if not, you'll hear from me the following workday. So it's just about clear communication with your clients and, setting those firm boundaries. Self-care tip number 4, try and have some hobbies that are not related to your job. Again, I am not perfect at this, but over the years, I've come to realize that it's really important to have some sort of interests outside of business. So that could be something as simple as, joining an art class or a photography class or, something, whatever you feel interested in doing. It's nice to just have some hobbies that are simply hobbies. You're not trying to make money out of them. There's no expectations on them. It's literally just something for you to enjoy. It really helps to add a bit more happiness and joy to your life and give you a more well-rounded life. So it's not just about work and then watching TV at the end of the day. And then finally, self-care tip number 5, try and avoid context switching. So what do I mean by that? Say you've got, 3 different client projects that you need to get done in a day. One is a blog article, one is a sales page, and one is a email campaign. And you do each of those projects start to finish in the same day. That is really putting a lot of pressure on your brain because you're constantly switching context. So, and it gets even worse when you're checking your emails or responding to Slack messages while you're doing these projects. I am totally guilty of this. And, I'm starting this is something I'm starting to work on as well because it really does affect your productivity, especially if you're going, you're starting an outline for a project and then you're checking emails and then you're applying to a new Upwork job and then you're coming back and you're writing a couple of paragraphs on the thing you just outlined and then you're, switching. It's just really hard for your brain to keep up and you get tired a lot faster and you end up being a lot less productive. So a solution I've heard from Amy Porterfield actually recently on a podcast, and she suggests theming your days as much as possible. So as a freelance writer, let's say on Mondays, you might do all the research and the outlines for all of your client projects that week. And so you're just asking your brain to do 1 or 2 tasks and that's it. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, you might actually just do the whole writing of those projects. So smashing out your first drafts. And then on Thursday, you come back and you do the editing. So do you see how by theming your days, you're giving your brain less work to do, less context switching, and it helps you get more done faster. So this is something I'm just starting to try and implement with my own clients. It's not always, possible to do it this way, but, it's something I'm definitely trying to move towards in the future because I do see how it can help with the mental load as you go through your workday. So those are my 5 self-care tips for freelance writers. I hope you enjoyed them. If you have any others to add, please leave a comment. If you like the video, give it a like. And if you'd like to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. All right, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.